bwetutyo bwe tuyimiriddewo asi wange mpangisaawo bupangisa era siwe nasookera nasookera eri emabega bayitayo Kanyanya nenzija nali mu container in fact kati Jennifer ne bazigoba bwe bazigoba nenzira nensemberako era si wano nensemberako emabega wali nabeerawo ng'emyaka 3 nanyini kizimbe n'akitunda nga notubuulira tatubuulidde twalaba bamateeka kujja ne batugamba tubawadde ennaku 2 nenvaawo kati bwe navaawo kati kwe kujja wano so kati prices z'entebe kisinziira entebe bwefaanana entebe waliwo engaze ennyo za $1.5 waliwo emitwalo 85 okusinga ndi mu 85 kuba be bantu abasinga be basinga obungi kasita abantu obayingizaamu ezituuka mu kakadde nga basala kati obu sideboards kati nga dressing mirrors mitwalo 18 tulinamu emitwalo 218 bu sideboards ninamu 35 48 bwe watyo ebe nina workshop eri ku kikubo kya Bahayi eyo gyeri eri ku kikubo kya Bahayi ninayo abakozi baweranga 8 of course business eri registered era bagiyita Michael's of Assets byonna mbiyina recordings zonna ziyina n'omusolo gwonna okuva gye natandikira mbisasula zonna documents nze erina in fact kinyambye nti bwe baba bazze bwe baba kweganze si wumula nze nyangwa mangu okusasula omusolo si wumuzaamu nti bino banaggaddewo nedda nze nsooka nengenda nensasula nendyoka nenda materials nzija bwayise bayitayo mu Australia flames okusinga kati zibine byaffe ebyentebe batukubira flames netuzijjayo nga ziwedde kati mpozi nga gana amaliba getujja mu town go tugajja mu town bizimbe bingi nnyo bitunda amaliba mu town mwe tugajja oba osanze eddiba lyonoonya lyoyagala era abantu bange bamuno mpozi kati okuva lwe natandika okutundako ku neti tufunayo abantu abava mu bitundu ebirala Ntebe Road, Ntinda, Naalya ku net anti kati kuliko apps ezitunda kati nze nkube ebifaananyi nembiteekayo nenteekako ne prices nenteekako ne location oba oli awo ng'oli akubidde akasimu wange oli luddawa nga nti ndi Kyebando bwe wati oba oli awo ngazze n'agula kati eyo competition naffe tulaba biri bwe tubiraba ne tugezaako competing nabyo naffe nga tukola ebirungi ng'ebyo yengeri gye tusigadde muli kubanga oba walabye ebintu byaffe bye tukola oba ebyange byenkola olabira ddala nga mbutufu nga tewali nnyo njawulo n'ebiva ebweru era senga tufunayo omukisa kati nga nze ne gurupu yange gye nnina ne wabaayo engeri gy'otwongeramu kasente tubikolera ddala exactly nga biri oluusi n'okusingawo so si byamaanyi nnyo nti bizibu bali bye baimportinga kubanga naffe tubiraba ne tubyekebejja nogenda okulanga ng'ate oluusi tukola ebigumu okusinga ku ebyo ekisooka nazimbamu akayumba kange karumuzi 3 nina famire y'abaana 2 n'omukyala bonna we bali wano ojja balaba n'akamotoka weekali era nako kanyambyeko in fact saakagula kubeerawo kutuula nvugiramu n'ebyemmere nina ebirala byemmere byenvugiramu waliwo ne affectinze nnyo kubanga maze emyezi egyo gyonna nga sikola mazeeko emyezi egyo gyonna nga sikola egya corona batustopinga empisi za bubi tubadde nga okuva corona lwe yatandika twalekerawo okukola ne tubeera nga tuli waka kuba omanyi yali total lockdown naddala kati yaffe ya furniture kyebajje batandika ogiggulawo kwe kuddamu kati okuba nga bakola naye twaffectinze business sente zibadde tezikyajja abagula nga nabo tebalabika ate era ne bwe batugudde era abantu sente tebanaba kubeera nazo so kati mwe tuli ofunayo omwomu bwotyo so etwaffectinze nnyo era nakati ekyatwaffectinze naye kulemerako nga bwe nagambye tubiteekawo oba oli awo oli najja bwe kityo bwe kiri talinda kutandika na kinene tatawaana okulinda okutandika n'ekinene kubanga bw'ogaa nti olinda otandike n'ekinene oba tojja kutandika nze nga bwe gambye natandika na 2 seater naye kati entebe nyingi nnyo na wano tezijjaawo so atandike n'ako akatono k'alina atandikire awo ate talinda funa kinene kyenyinza okugamba nti talinda binene nga byalaba atandike n'ako akatono ekintu kijja kugejja nga agenze mu step by step akati ffe abatunda bino ebintu ebyokutunuulira ennaku twabivaako kubanga tusobola okumalako akabanga nga totunze so ebyokutunuulira ennaku twabivaako ffe tujja buzi ne tukola buli nnaku oba oli awo ng'olyaguze kuba ffe tetuli kushuwadiru nti buli nnaku ojja kutunda mulimu olunaku lwosobola okutunda okuva ku makya paka lwaggulo ne mubaamu olunaku ennaku zosobola okubeerawo nga totunze so kati ffe tuteekamu buteesi maanyi era okeera nga bulijjo bw'okola myaka nga 10 njiraba wala ng'era abali mu fanicha eno kati ng'omwami gwe bayita Taamale bwe ntyo bwe ngisuubira myaka nga 5 aliwo omwami atunda alina edduuka erya fanicha eddene nateeteeyi wanene wonna otusanga ebintu bijjudde abakozi bangi so bwe ntyo nange yange bwe njibala bwe ngisuubira nti oba oli awo maaso awo bwejja okuba era kituufu bwejja okuba kubanga gyengoba gye njagala ŋŋende bwe ntyo.
Manya nze Kawale James Stewart nkola ku Buffalo Boutique esangibwa Ntinda Kafene next to Hardware World. Business eno tukimaze emyaka 5 natandikira wano wennyini. Mu kusookera ddala capital yali mutono ate ne ba clients being that it was my first business so nga funamu obuzibu nkaluubirizibwa naye with time bagenda bajja mpolampola. Yes, up to date. Anskirisa, first of all, nina passion eri towards fashion so yensonga emu yanzikiriza okugulawo ekifo kino n'okusooka edduuka lyali ttono naye twatuka ekiseera ne tu-expandinga this behind part omu tumujja wano omutonotono naye ebisinga tubyereetera kuva Turkey ebimu China Dubai bwe tutyo tulinayo abatuweereza tulinayo ba agents. Embeera ya COVID etukosezaamu whereby nti expectation yaffe yakyuka aba client betufuna baagala tubaweere ku price eya wansi ate being that emisolo giri waggulu kati kitukosa nnyo noyesanga nti abaali bafuna ba clients 20 olunaku wesanga ofunye 2-3 bwe batyo. Natandika ne $15,000 wano akamalayo emyaka 5. Challenges kusingira ddala security emabegako twafunamu obuzibu baatuyingirira ne batumenya ekiro mu lockdown eyasooka ngoleso naye with time tugenze nga tukacha mwene embeera ya lockdown tusinze nnyo okola deliveries costs era zibadde z'amaanyi in terms of transportation naye era tugezezzaako tusobole okusurvivinga. Tudiringa nnyo mu ngoye z'abasajja tulina jeans gentle trousers, blazers, amasaati, t-shirts, nkofiira, ngatto, stockings, ne inner garments nga boxers, vests, stockings, n'emisipi. Beeyi y'omusipi, emisipi girenjingira $800, essaati ez'emikono emimpi ziri $700, ez'emikono emiwanvu ziri $10,000, blazers ziri $25,000, engatto tuyinamu 25,300, cause tuyina gentle ne sneakers. Kyenkuutira abavubuka bannange nti banyikira okukola ebyokulera engalo tebiyamba. Uganda nga bwetuuse tusana tweyimukiriremu kuba yeffe Uganda ey'enkya. So buli katono konna kayina kaba atandika nako ate tatya kutandika. So n'ekirala ba clients baffe tubeebaza olw'otuwagira mono lockdown era tubasaba baddemu batuwagire lubeerera. Enamba yange y'essimu eri 0705 88 6979.
Nzamina Nankya. Tunyigirizibwa nnyo mu kifo kino. Tukolera mu katale kyejjusa. Naye tunyigiriziddwa nnyo mu kifo kino. Enanasi tekikyaliko katale. Twetaagisa ekyuma kya juice, ekikuba juice. Tusaba buyambi eri Mzee President Museveni atuyambe. Kubanga enanasi tekikyaliko katale zino zensitudde zandibadde za mutwalo kati za 15,000 bwe zisobola nsitudde 3,000.
Amanya gange nze Farida Nalumansi nkolera akatale k'abali kyejjusa. Bannange tuyina obulumi bw'ennaanansi. Ennaanansi kati nnyingi nnyo. Guno omulengo gw'ensitudde gwa 3,000 so gwalibadde gwa 5,000. Mbadde nsaba President Museveni atuyambe atuweereze ekyuma kya juice, kyuma kikube juice bannange. Atuyambe, atulongooseze ne katale tuli bubi ebinnya biyitirivu. Ebinnya bingi n'abakulembeze be tuyina ab'akakiiko batuyisa bubi ng'oggyeko kyebani waffe. Naye abasigadde batuyisa bubi. Maliriza nga nnyamba Museveni atuyambire ddala eyo endowooza yange gyambadde nsaba President Museveni atuyambe atusaasire ajje atuyambeko munnange naye tuli bubi. Maliriza nga nze Farida Nalumansi wano katale bali kyejjusa.
Amanya gange nze Nasi wa Esther nga mbeera wano kwali kyejjusa e Kasaara. Kyetusaba mukulu President atuyambemu. Tusaba atuzimbire katale nga kwe yazumbira ab'e Kasubi naffe tukaaga nga kanene. Kyetusaba ekirala tuwe ku kyuma ekikuba juice. Nanasi tuyina nnyingi. Tuli balimi nanasi zo nnyingi. Kazala zino zenkutte zonna zasaana kutundibwanga $1,000. Naye lwaki mba nzitunda 3,000? Kubanga tuli mu nnyingi, tuli mu kidibo. Kati singa tuba tulina ku kyuma ekisobola okuba ku juice, obudde tuba tuyambirwako ki olumu. Kyensaba abakulembeze abalala abeesimbawo batuyambe batugondeze mu bintu ng'okutukolera ku luguudo, ebinnya tuyina bingi, amazzi batufeeko naffe nga bafa ku balala. Kyembadde nsaba fundikira nga nze ngamba nze Nasi wa Esther.
Smart 24, driving business. Smart 24, driving business.
Kale njagala okwebaza abasaba ne banyabo kuba ntambudde ffenna okuviira ddala enkya lunaku olwaleero. Of course mu program Uganda Tukole ebeerawo ddala Monday paka Friday okuviira ddala essaawa 5 ez'okumakya paka ssaawa 10 ez'akawungeezi. Of course tutunula ebintu ebyenjawulo ate obudde nga buno of course kasazingira ssaawa 8 Mr. Marcelino Makune of course ku trading don abeerawo ddala okututwala ngeri gye tuyinza okukola mu ssente nga tukozesa emitimbagano egy'enjawulo, and of course bw'aba amaliriza ate programs ezikwata ku ngeri gye tuyinza okukola ssente nga tukozesa emikono tuyise the skill up. Of course business ziyinza okuba za byalaani, ziyinza okuba kufumba keeki, kukola chapati, to mention but a few bibeera biddako. Kati nno nze bwe ntubenda buse olunaku olwaleero ate tugenda kuba nga tuddamu okusinkana of course wane eno olunaku olw'enkya naye kamalekere Mr. Marcelino Makune ate abongereyo mu program the trading dawn. Mweraba.
Smart 24, driving business.
Amanya gange nze Ayeba Johnson mva Kinjojo nsika chapati simaze mu banga dene ekiri yawo myaka nge ebiri yoka nguzemu bintu bingi ninawe enkoko zange nine embuzi kalo sanga nti ngaba customer bajja ne balanga tebasasudde ekiri yawo oba ebintu oyinza obikola nebitatambula bulungi nebibeerawo nebisulamu ate webisulamu yebaloosi oba oyinza okubulwa ssente ezigula ebintu ebirala. Ebintu bya buseere kuduuka naddala engano eyo gavumenti yandutuyambye nekendeezaamu kaawo ku ssente ne butto ebintu biri nnyo ate kitala sawa zino bakasitoma si bangi n'ekiri awo. amanya gange nze Ayeba Johnson mva Kyenjojo nsika chapati simaze mu banga dene ekiri yawo myaka nge 2 yoka nguzeemu bintu bingi ninawe enkoko zange nine embuzi kale osanga nti nga bakasitoma bajja ne balya nga tebasasudde ekiri awo oba ebintu oyinza obikola nebitatambula bulungi nebibeera awo nebisulamu ate bwebisulamu yebaloosi oba oyinza okubulwa ssente ezigula ebintu ebirala. Ebintu bya buseere ku dduuka naddala engano eyo gavumenti yandutuyambye nekendeezaamu kaawo ku ssente ne butto ebintu birinnye nnyo ate kitala saawa zino bakasitoma si bangi n'ekiri awo.
Wanyaga nga bampita Maneno Maka mulimu gwenkola gwa boda guddemu myaka 2 era nfunyemu ebirungi nguzemu ettaka mu kyalo n'omulimu ngwagala nnyo. Nakutandika nga 2016 kwembeera mbi mulimu kulwanoonya mulimu nga tegulaba netusalawo ntukolaki tuvuge boda ate tulaba sente zibeerawo ku boda so tubeesawo n'ebutonotono. So okuvuga abantu nga 215 webityo naye ng'ofuna mitwalo ng'ena kitono nnyo. Nze nkola nga mitwalo 4 kitono nnyo weba nga zigenze nnyingi obeera ku mitwalo 10 mitwalo 9 ejo obeerako.
Smart 24, driving business.
Good afternoon, everyone. I hope you're having a good week. Hope the weekend was nice. So this robot that has been running, this robot of the cheat sheet patterns. So that robot has been on from Thursday last week, and so here's the thing. This robot, the good thing about demo accounts, they take hits. So this robot is going to throw everything at this demo account, every single day, every hour, every minute, and it's going to take so many hits. So when you're watching the account, what you have to do is take out only the good trades. Now the way robot works, they have entry points. Now when these entry points are already in, it can't open another trade with the same entry point. Meaning if there is a trade that is in that has been taking a long time, no other entry point will come in from that position because the old one is still in. So that's why I closed all the trades on Monday, so that it keeps on starting afresh, so that every day you get you get some good trades. Now there's something I've noticed on this account. People have been opening their own people have been opening their own trades, and it has been okay. It hasn't been so bad. It hasn't been so bad. It's actually very it's kind of initiative. It's some good initiative, and some of those trades, okay, at first some of those trades were bad last week, but then this time there have been some good trades, and it's good to do that kind of thing. When you look at the chart going a certain direction and you just want to reinforce that trade that is in, feel free to do anything that you want on these accounts. But all the trades that are being opened by the robot, they are all, the lot size is 0.10. Now if you enter your own trade, distinguish it. I really like the fact that all the people who entered their own trades, they were putting 10.0 lot size, 5.0, which is good. You can easily tell that this trade hasn't been entered by the robot. Yeah, so you put a trade with 0.1, and that will mix in with all the trades of the robot, and you won't be able to distinguish which is which. Okay, another way to tell the difference is if the trade has about 20 pips of profit, which the robot does. So if a trade enters without that profit margin, then we can easily tell that this trade is not from the robot. Yeah, but then at the same time, I'm going to do something else. Because of what I've just seen with that, those trades being opened. So what I saw there, it's quite good. It's very, very good. And I'm going to open another account where we can enter our trades. So anyone can enter a trade into that account, without, and everyone will have access to that account, so we can all see what is happening. Now, when you enter a trade, okay, this is what I'm proposing. When you enter a trade in that account, which all of us can see, on the Telegram group, just give a brief description of that trade. Every trade has an identification number. The order number, that is the number that identifies the trade. So after you've entered the trade, you can just copy that number, put it there. If it is, let's say 931734446, you get that number, you put it on the Telegram group, and you say, I've opened this trade because of this and this and this. You can even send a screenshot of your PC or your phone where you've entered that trade, and then you put it there so that we all see the entry point. Yeah, so that we see the entry point and you see where it is headed. Yeah, now that will be very, very important for everyone. Yeah, for everyone. You have no idea. Yeah, you see, when you keep your trades to yourself, when you keep your methods to yourself, you might never know if this method is actually good or not. Someone may not warn you that what you're doing is wrong, but if you put it there for all of us to see, then we can correct each other. We can look at it and okay, maybe I should just say that be kind to one another. If someone puts a trade which you don't agree with, find a good way of correcting them. Don't just blast them. It's really it's not nice. It's not nice at all, and it discourages people, especially in something as emotional as trading. If you're discouraged in trading, it's already emotional the way it is, and then someone says something bad to you, especially concerning your trading method, that can be a very big hit. So, let's be very civil about it. When someone enters a trade and we do not agree with it, let's find a way of correcting that person in the best possible way, maybe by giving another kind of analysis that might counter that one, and something like that, so that we keep on moving in some kind of harmonic way. So when you enter those trades, just give a small description. I've entered this trade because of this. It could be anything, trading methods. Before they used to be written in stone, you'd have price action, you'd have shoulders, you'd have, name it. There were very few trading strategies before, and they were all sort of written in stone. If you do some kind of analysis, it had to be in a certain kind of way. There was no way of innovating, creating your own strategy, and that's how things were. But now things are a lot different. The risks are totally different. You can even risk up to 1,000 times of your account, which is really, it just shows you that things have changed a lot. There is too much flexibility, and I keep saying that there are as many trading strategies as there are people. Everyone who starts trading will develop their own strategy, which is that is the key component to my training classes. Everyone, if you start trading based on my strategy, it might not work for you, because there are so many things with the strategy which I look at, at the back of my mind. There are so many things that I consider before I actually take action in my strategy. Now, if you study my strategy, you may not have, everything, the background data to it that I've been using to formulate this kind of strategy. You might just, take a small hint that maybe I sell when the averages have crossed and that CCI is above this and what, and then you just take that entry point and then you start looking out for it. But there are many other circumstances under which I would take that kind of action, and that applies to any trading strategy. You go on YouTube and some guy shows you like 3 trades which were perfect from a certain strategy, and you copy it, and then when you put that same perfect strategy in another trade, you lose money because of something else, and that can discourage you. So normally when I'm training someone, you always have a passion that you come up with, that maybe some kind of indicators that you like, or some kind of price action that you really, really like. So, everything you do, everything we do in analysis is always correct to some point. So every time we're analyzing these charts, we're always right, but what puts us in what makes us make losses is just very, very small things. So basically, when you're developing your own strategy based on what you're most comfortable with, now what I do with that, I just, first of all, we have to test your strategy on many trades, so many, and we see the success rate, and we see where you've passed and where you failed, and then we start trimming it down. Then I start adding in guidelines. Maybe you are trading based on a certain set of indicators, and maybe we add in another 2 or another 3, or we change the values of 1 to make sure that your strategy actually fits in what is actually needed to make you succeed. Or we just add in some kind of price movement, some kind of price action to ensure that even if your strategy shows you that you're supposed to sell at a particular time, price action might say otherwise. It might say otherwise, like these things here of rising tops and falling bottoms and all that. So that kind of thing can, it can save you from making a loss. You might start selling in a downward trend, yet you're at a reversal, which is very, very common. So so normally it's kind of a lengthy process, but it's very helpful. You have to develop your own strategy and be very comfortable with it. Then the secondary strategies you can use are those you're copying from others as you test them out, because your own strategy has some kind of imprint of yours that gives you the best results in the most comfortable environment. That you may not trade all the time, but you only trade at that point when you're very, very comfortable. Yeah, and that is very, very important, especially if your account, if you don't want to lose money all the time, if it really bothers you to lose money, then you need to be as comfortable as possible so that even if you lose some money, you will know that you gave it your everything, not losing money and then you start blaming the strategy or the person who taught you the strategy, and then you start feeling bad. Yeah, so let's look at today's economic calendar and see if we see the events for today. Yesterday was quite eventful. So many things happened yesterday. The market moved. The market had some good movement. Yeah. So today there was the interest rate decision. The Reserve Bank of Australia. Nothing changed as usual. 0.1 was the previous figure. Consensus was still 0.1, and the actual figure that they released was also 0.1. So here the magic is in the report. Yeah, and that was the only event. That was at 7:30, and the whole of today, there are just some medium impact events affecting the Canadian dollar, the market, manufacturing PMI, then the factory orders affecting the US dollar, then the Federal Reserve speech. Now this speech might have, it might have medium impact there, but then, these speeches are normally very, very serious. They shouldn't be taken for granted. Yeah, so we're going to look at some charts that we were following up last week. Yeah, so this is the robot. So far there are, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there are 8 good trades there, and all the others which are up here, these are all bad trades. Maybe they will turn out well or something, but there are 8 good trades to choose from. And all these are 0.1. So all these are opened by the robot. If you look at the history, green is take profit. So all these are the profits. These are the trades which I was closing. These ones which are colorless. Then these are profits starting from yesterday. Yesterday was 2nd. Yeah, so these are profits starting from yesterday. These are take profit trades. And the ones opened by manual traders, there was this one here, the US dollar versus the Chinese, the CNH. Yeah, there's this one here, NZD, CHF. These ones here were entered manually by some good Samaritan who wanted to share with us some information, which I totally recommend. Please go ahead. So the rest of these ones in green, all these are opened by the robot. And yeah, so far the profit there, the profit for yesterday, it's about 1,294. Yeah, so all these trades opened and closed and gave that profit. So between yesterday and right now, yeah, any of these trades could have given you a profit from copy trading. Putting aside these charts here, like maybe the US dollar versus the Mexican peso. These ones are the Norwegian krone, which I'm still working on. These ones here versus these ones are okay. The New Zealand dollar. Maybe the ones versus African rand, those ones also. But these ones here, Canada, Japan, this one here, $18. You could have copied there and made some money. New Zealand versus the Japanese yen, $18 as well, could have copped that. Australian dollar versus the CHF, $22, could have copped that. The euro versus the Australian dollar, $14 there, profit there, 14. Euro Canada, $15, $20 NZD, USD. Yeah, so there are many, starting from here, there are so many up to this one, and the ones which are in right now, they're just about 6 or 7 or 8, just a few which are there now, which means all these other charts, all these entry points, they're there in negatives. If all of them are closed, then they will search for other trades, and then we shall have some positives. Yeah, now, okay, coming to this. this analysis we've been following up for quite some time since last week. It's good to keep looking at this, to keep track of what we're doing. Now, this is the Euro USD. This is the 4-hour chart. Price is still moving upwards. The RSI is still in that upward movement, and price is safely above the 23.6. It could go to the 38.2 very soon. But, okay, we don't yet have a sign showing that this is a new downward trend. So once we get that confirmation, then we can analyze to start selling. But for now, we just keep it at that. This is the US dollar versus the Canadian dollar. We're having this kind of upward movement. So price broke above this 38.2 and still came above this support level on the Fibonacci. This is a long-term chart, and maybe it is going up. Maybe it's going to buy. So if this chart is going to start buying, if we assume that it has reversed from there, then let me give it a different color so that we distinguish them. Okay, so if it starts buying, then so these two areas here, this one here is 50.0 and the other one is about 60, no, that one is 23.6 for the long term, so the short term is 50.0 there. So if price is actually going to start moving upwards, then that is one major resistance there, where price could move at the highest point if it continues going up. That is if this is actually an upward trend that is happening. So basically, in order to start selling, price should break below this 38.2 level. You can see here where it has been resisted. It is the 23.6, bouncing off from this area here where we think it has reversed from it, start going up. So the 23.6 is where it has been resisted, and it's in between there and the 38.2. So maybe to continue buying, maybe to the 38.2 upwards, you can start buying above this area of resistance, and the pips you can collect there about 30 pips, which are very many. Those are very good pips. Then if it breaks below this 38.2, then you can sell and you make some 40 pips to this point here, which is not so bad. Okay, so the USD CHF, I think this one here, this one was actually selling. It had already gone below the 61.8, and last week drew this white line to show probably the farthest place it would go. That is in between the 61.8 and the 100.0. So selling to this white line, that is a very ambitious level to stop selling. If you're looking for price to reach down there, which it could, it has just broken below this this support. So maybe you could have another 20 pips to reach this white line. So even if price starts playing around, it could reach there very soon. This is a 4-hour chart, so it could take maybe the whole of this week. And it's still something good to look out for. You can make some good money there. If it's okay, this one here doesn't really look like there is so much of price heading back upwards. It could, but it's not very likely. So the prediction still remains. Last week it was above here, just at the 61.8. Now it has moved in that direction about 30 pips. About 30 pips now from the time when we actually saw it. So this is a very strong drop. But still, strong drops didn't scare. This one here is even stronger, and they still went further. This one here can also, it can also maybe go there. But anyway, being realistic, that could take some time to reach this white line. But yeah, if you didn't enter it before, maybe you can wait for price to be resisted somewhere in case there is some kind of retracement that's going to happen. You can wait for price to head back upwards somewhere, then you start selling to this level here. If you start selling now, price might retrace for some time, and you could go into some negative of maybe of 20 pips or even 10 pips, which is not nice. So maybe you can just wait for the retracement to happen, and then you enter the trade and collect more pips like that. This is another chart. Another chart of interest. The Australian dollar versus the Canadian dollar. So a very, very long, I don't know how many weeks it has been. We do this kind of triangular formation, and price has been, it broke below, tested there. I think we even saw this on Friday. Then it started selling, and it has sold up to this bottom here. Now, I want to do some calculation here to get some number of pips. The farthest it has moved here is about 91 pips. 91 pips. I want to see where 91 pips. I want to get some kind of calculation. Okay, maybe from this bottom here, maybe to this point here, so it is also about 91 pips. I'm trying to make some sense. So when I was drawing this line, I drew from these tops, and these are the tops which actually touch. But maybe the actual price movement, I took it from there. Maybe it could even go further up, but maybe there. The numbers may not be accurate, but what I'm trying to show you is the farthest. Normally when there's this kind of triangular formation and this zigzag inside, the farthest price moves down, and I am very sure you've seen this in so many places. So the number of pips you take when price goes down is normally equivalent to the number of pips that were there at the very beginning of this triangular formation. So here it is very close. They are about, it's very close. About maybe the difference is about 5 pips, give or take. So the distance between this point and this point, these pips, all of them, you accumulate them from there. And once you've got those pips, then it is very, there you're in danger. You're in danger. You shouldn't look any further. You shouldn't look for more. You shouldn't look for more trades, or to wait for price to move further. This is why I keep telling you that the take profit decides for itself where it will be. It's not you who decides where the take profit should be. So in this case here, this point here determines the take profit in case of a breakout, like this one here. So this point here of about 90 pips determines for you the 90 pips you should take there. Then after those pips are done, your trade gets out. If you go looking for more than 90 pips, then you will end up in a situation like this one. You see this trade that is in, sold, and it never took profit, and now look where your price is. It has seriously gone against it. So that sort of thing can happen. So every time you have this kind of triangular formation, just keep in mind that price, it will break out and it will really go far, but this is the maximum number of pips that you should be looking for. Even if it takes more pips, take those ones there. Sometimes enough, enough is enough sometimes. It's enough to take these ones. It won't put you into any danger of losing any money. I think that's the last chart for today. So basically that's how you do. That is some kind of old school technical analysis. Very, very old school, with the stock charts and all these other charts that were there ever since the 1700s. Trading has been there for quite so long. These methods we have been there for so many years. So if you have your own methods, then practice those methods, and make sure you get some good results out of them. Because if you try to stick to these old school methods, you're going to have very few trades, and which is very good. If you have the fewer trades and the more accurate the better. You know, you'll make a lot of money and you won't be making daily losses like so many people. Yeah, but if you stick to these methods, then you'll have to, you'll have your own entry points. Okay, not your own, but universal entry points, which everyone can see. The thing is, they are not very common, and they take a while to appear. Yeah, and also you have to have some skill in order to identify them. But they always give good money, and they're always accurate. You'll always profit from them. So if you're having your own methods that you want to use every day, every hour, then perfect those methods. Yeah, if they are still letting you down and you're still sticking to them, then get someone to help you to, just get another opinion of your trading method and find a way of making it work so that you profit. It's very bad to lose money to the market. It hurts. It actually hurts. Yeah, but when you pull money out, it feels good even if you've waited for it. And if you have only one trade a week, it feels so good when you take money out of the market. Yeah, so we shall be looking at more of these traditional methods. I'm going to be, someone wanted me to use simple, these Fibonacci's and what, they keep on confusing people. They want to see parabolic SAR, moving averages, MACD. Yeah, so starting tomorrow, I'm going to be using some other trading methods to actually identify some trends, and we see how accurate these trading methods are using these common indicators. Yeah, so thank you for watching. That's it for today. Goodbye.